it's 8:00.
Yeah.
And you know what that means.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy JC. I am joined by my good, great friends. You have Mr. King Bob. You have Smitty Rock 67, and making appearance not on a pre-show. It's Mr. Dre the Geek Dad. We have
Yeah,
been
I know.
missing Drake the
Oh, I
Geek
miss
Dad.
you guys. I miss y'all too. The thing is, like, when Lana's not in school, the geek dad can come on and play. But like this is like one of those rarities till the summer. So it's good to be back with my brothers. I saw them Monday, but it's good to be back on with JC. I love y'all. It's good to be back.
I might be coming some Mondays here pretty soon once school's out too. So you know.
Oh
Hey,
shit!
you're welcome. You're welcome
Maybe
to,
not.
man.
Nah, but I'm so glad to have you back, man. It's an awesome time when we all four can get together and have fun. We might have some other people coming on tonight. I don't know. We'll find out. Uh, if you're in the chat, you're more than welcome to come on. You know who you are.
I'm keeping an eye out on the on the bottom of the
So
screen.
today is on. I'm not no longer a toker. I'm no longer in that quality of a family. But today is 420. And
Yeah.
I know that some people wanted to talk a little bit about their favorite stoners. I do have some of my favorite stoner movies. So
Well, yeah. I mean,
Can I count myself? Can I count myself in
when I
that list?
broached when I brought that up, I didn't mean just like who's your favorite pothead. I mean, you can talk about movies, you can talk about stuff like anything
Steph.
that
what's up,
doesn't
Steph?
have to be just movies or actors. It could be athletes, or it could be
Well,
whoever.
let's do that. Let's see what everybody's favorite uh
What's up, Fixed?
movie is.
Hey, fixed.
What's your
All
favorite
right,
stoner movie?
dude.
I'll start with Robert.
See, I got stories. I got stories about movies while enjoying.
There's two I'm thinking about, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna go a little bit back. I'm gonna throw Dazed and Confused out there.
All right,
That's a
all right, all
classic.
right.
Dazed and Confused with. I mean, not even just the weed moments, but just the moments in general, like when the mom pulls a rifle out on the seniors for trying to chase down her kid, and because Ben Affleck was an asshole in that movie, and you just want to slap the shit out of him.
It's true.
I'm finding a common theme because one of my favorite stoner movies of all time was Jay and Silent Bob. And
I mean, that's like Clerks. I mean, anybody could say that. Like, I mean,
yeah. But what I'm saying is like Ben Affleck was an asshole in that movie too. So
see, I'm gonna go completely left of this because I'm gonna tell a story. It's
God.
who wants a story with Dre Baby? Because I have a good one. I many years ago, many moons ago, when I used to partake, had sat and watched Pineapple Express. And that movie in and of itself is hilarious when you're not partaking. But when you are partaking, that movie makes sense on so many levels. And when I'm saying it makes sense on levels, it makes sense. And it's just even funnier. And I say that because like the person I was with, she didn't. She drove us there. It was a person I was dating, and I was like, oh. Like she's like, are you enjoying this movie way too much? And I'm sitting there just like, I got my popcorn, I got my soda, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, every one of those guys is like that comedy troupe. James Franco. I mean, James Franco just, I mean, he was playing himself. It's like everybody says, oh, when you see what's his face, Johnny Depp play Captain Jack Sparrow, that's like Johnny Depp. I mean, like we all associate the two. Also, congrats to him, for winning his court case.
right.
I'm glad he won it. He deserved it. Let's hope that Disney cuts their shit out and like puts
Come
it
on,
back
Disney.
in.
Because quite honestly, Disney, I want a true to life Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't want Margot Robbie taking over. I don't want the reboot.
I think that's why they held off.
Sparrow. I don't care what he does.
To be honest, I think that's why they
back one more time.
Bob, that's why I think they took that break. We haven't seen one in a couple of years. I think they were like waiting for this court case to come out and for him to get exonerated. That's what it had to be.
Honest, that would have been like back in the day if Harrison Ford had got caught up in some bullshit and they went ahead and just took him out of Star Wars. Or Mark Hamill got caught up in some shit and took him out of Star Wars.
That's true.
No.
You would. No, you're right. And I think that, like, just for me, I think sitting back, it's like him, losing all that support. And now it's like everybody's kind of like, oh shit, we're having the oh shit moment because like he won. And now like the courts actually have mandated that if she did not give that money to those with the battered women's shelters, that she has to now like come up with it and she's gonna get into deeper shit. So it's like, hey, Aquaman 2, kick her ass out. Hey, Disney, get on your shit.
They already announced that she was gone. So I was kind of happy about that.
That's why I kind of hate when, you have to do it, but you hate to see it happen when, companies kind of distance themselves or get rid of people on some stupid stuff. And then the process plays out and, then what? Yeah. You look kind of stupid.
Yeah. I didn't expect him to lose. There's a lot to Johnny Depp. But, it's like, it sucks that, like, they said that the only thing that kind of stood with him was his, his cologne, Sauvage, which I have. Like, Christian Dior did not leave his side.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, everybody else dipped on him, and Dior kept him as their spokesperson. I was like, you know what? Respect.
Hell yeah.
But see, that's how you could talk. You can know that I used to do that because look, I just left talk about Pineapple Express to talk about Johnny Depp. Yeah, this is the way it goes.
He counts.
And he does count. Matt Riddle. It's like I was thinking like when everybody was like who's your favorite athlete, I would definitely say Matt Riddle. RVD.
RVD.
I don't know if you guys are on Twitter, but like we have the Nerd Dungeon has toy chats on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Definitely check us out. Toy chats _Nerd Dungeon. Definitely check that out on Twitter. I was looking at that and they said that they put out a T-shirt that Riddle wanted, and WWE was obviously not gonna let that happen. But it says like RK Bro 420 on the back of it. It says we smoked your ass. I was like, oh, I was like that'd be an awesome T-shirt. WWE will not do that.
He is a monster, dude. I completely agree with you.
Marilyn Manson.
Oh yeah, Marilyn Manson's another one.
He got taken to hell in court too. So,
but that's what they had to do though, because think about it. Anybody that's usually innocent, the court of opinions is always going to win over the court of justice. Yeah. Because people automatically are like, oh, well, and it's sad because it's very sexist. And you expect in a time that we live in that it wouldn't be that way, but it is, where automatically everybody jumped on him saying, oh, he probably beat her. She doctored audio. She doctored documents. I'm like, come on, man. Like, that's some crooked level shit. And we automatically think, oh, she's a woman. Let's defend her. It's not fair. He didn't do shit. And even his exes were saying that he didn't do anything bad. That says leaps and bounds a lot about him. When like your ex-wives come out and they're like, he never did
that recording, man. I couldn't stand that recording because like it was bad. Talk about where she hit him. And then he was like, oh, it was my fault. Let me back up and I won't come near you again. And then she went and hit his ass again. I was like,
and she called the cops. She called the cops and they gets a restraining order on him. Folks, they say what comes around goes around. If she did not pay that money, she about to get that ass got. I was gonna say that. And if you guys have not watched YouTube today, it's been pretty funny. I was pardon my awesome nasally sound. It's allergy season here in Charlotte, and it is absolutely horrible for me here.
I don't know what you mean, Trey.
I know. It's like it's perfect because it sounds like for 420, it sounds perfect, doesn't it?
Wow.
Because it sounds like like what's up, guy?
Bro.
But it's actually not that. I swear. It's like
Right.
like the wife would come over here and say like, yeah, no, he's dying. But yeah, like there's just
She didn't do time for hitting his ass, let alone lying about it.
oh yeah,
So-
she gonna get got. But,
Anyway,
yeah. Anyway, I agree.
This is
Smitty,
why when you get the four of us, it's dangerous because
It
the
is.
side tangent spin-offs.
like we went from talking about 420 to Johnny
So-
Depp, just like
All right,
that.
so originally,
And I can't help it.
originally I was going to go with Dazed and Confused,
Another classic.
but since Bobbert took that, I'll go to the fallback Friday.
No,
Yeah.
that's a good one. Damn, you got knocked the fuck out.
You got knocked up.
You gotta drop it. You gotta say it. Knock the fuck out. That was great.
See, but Friday is cool because you have like three different like
Kind of stoners.
with the trilogy. You got three different movies under the same franchise, which is Friday was the more dark, like
Well, Zeus. You had
the-
R.I.P. Zeus.
yeah. Then the second one was a little bit more colorful. Then the third one was pretty freaking good. You know, as far as like, you know, I mean, first of all, you had Cat Williams in it.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
That was
Before,
second one, ain't
before
it?
the crack, before the heroin.
No, yeah, he was in
had
the
funny
second
Cat
and third one. Yeah, Cat Williams before he blew up.
Yeah,
That was
Right.
like Soul Plane Cat Williams. You know, it's like
Plane.
yes,
Oh
I
my
can
God.
go there. That's another one you could throw in there too.
I love
You
Soul Play, dude. I did. I know
I mean-
everybody was like, "Oh, it sucks." I love Soul Play.
no,
no, it
it's
didn't
Soul
suck.
Plane.
See,
It was
the
was
problem.
bad.
That's the problem
It
with
was a
movies
bad
is
movie, but I loved it.
is one of the best movies in the world are the ones that everyone hates.
Yep,
Exactly.
he's right. Speaking
Right.
of bad
So-
movie, people thought that was a bad movie, but it actually was a good movie. It was Morbius.
Hell yeah.
I didn't get to see it yet. I'm going
saw
to see it this weekend after.
It's
I'm
I'm gonna be honest with you. It is a good popcorn movie. Like if
doing
you
the
go in
drive-in
there,
with.
it's more. I think that'd be dope to see it in a drive-in.
I'm doing the drive-in with the first movie is going to be the new Crimes of Grindelwald thing, or the new
Mhm.
Dumbledore, Secret Dumbledore, and then that
Mhm.
second one. So I was like, hell yeah, I get both of my movies.
Yeah, I mean
Oh,
Morbius
God,
is not bad.
No.
Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Morbius was not bad, and you know what else I'll say was not bad, and it's because I know all of y'all already saw it. Was the Batman?
I didn't
Oh,
see
I
the
love the
Batman
Batman.
yet. I'm waiting until
It's on streaming.
Wait,
It's
I'm
on
waiting
every
on
streaming
HBO.
service right now.
It's on
HBO
HBO
Max.
Max.
it's on there
I mean,
now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been there
went
since
on
Monday.
Monday. Went on Monday.
Well, I'll
I-
go tomorrow.
I will.
Watch
I will
it
I was a
Monday.
little
this way.
upset. I was upset, but I wasn't because I tried a Dolby theater for the first time with that movie, and I don't think I'll ever change again. I'll go back. I won't go
Honestly,
to a
though,
regular
I don't
theater.
think the sound would be like this is me. Being that I didn't see it in the theaters, I can't speak for like there. I could tell there were aspects of it that would be sounding
yeah.
awesome, like the Ave Maria in the beginning, the choral.
The
I'm just gonna say that,
Batmobile,
like
dude.
the Batmobile
Oh my
revving up. You know, that was freaking. I mean, and like the music in the club, you know, like there's a lot of parts where it's like it felt like he was trying to be Christopher Nolan, Matt Reeves. If you guys
Yeah.
don't know the director Matt Reeves,
Yeah.
this is not like his first rodeo, but it definitely felt like he was being very Christopher Nolan with the ambient music, using natural sounds from like engine revving, to then go into like an orchestral like sound and then bring you in for whatever it was. But like there were some very, very good scenes in the movie. I think hands down, I think people slept on it and said it was terrible. And I will say Pattinson, the one thing I will say without it's not spoiling the movie. I think Pattinson made a great Batman for being a youthful Batman that's only the second year on the job. I think he did terrible as Bruce Wayne. Like
Really?
Andy Serkis, yes. I think Andy Serkis
Really
was yeah. I'll stand behind it. I will stand behind it 100%. I think he did great as Batman. I think he was terrible as Bruce Wayne, and I think Andy Serkis was terrible as Alfred. I did not like him.
I do agree Andy Serkis was terrible as Alfred. I don't agree that he was terrible as Bruce Wayne. Well, he wasn't the greatest Bruce Wayne, but at the same time, can you think of an actor that did both really well?
Yes.
Besides Keaton.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Affleck.
Affleck did not do both very well. He did Bruce Wayne very well.
Okay, sorry. Hey, Ezra Miller. Ring, Ezra Miller. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you on the Flash one. Don't go on my Affleck when I can go on you at Ezra Miller.
Flash. Grant Gustin's
no. You can't own Ezra. You own Ezra Miller. Ring. Oh, he's in jail. Okay.
All right,
what does the one have to do with the other?
Wait, hang
Shut
on.
up.
Gray.
Hey Ben, this is Robert over at Palms Rehab Center. I'm just confirming your room for later on tonight.
Hey, he's out of rehab.
But he was in rehab during playing Batman. So
yeah,
that's true. He was, but he had to. He chose to go in. At least he didn't go in negatively. He actually went on his own accord. Unlike Ezra Miller, who actually, had several things that he could have been doing.
Classless morons. Don't matter.
Hey, that's where I win. In any event,
Robert Pattinson and
what I'm going to say, what I have to say about Robert Pattinson is he is, for me, as a Batman, top 3. I have to say he's top 3 for me.
Top 3, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll agree. Some random ghost. Hey, Ghosty. I know you wish because you like having me here because I like to argue with
up, Joseph?
So I'm back.
Yeah. So I
temporarily, I'm back.
Pattinson for me was top 3.
Oh yeah, he definitely ranks in the
that.
top 3 as Batman. I think that there's a lot of sequences as his Batman character.
Hey, Joseph.
That I will 100% say like solidified him in my mind as Batman because I think he did a great job. Do I think that he was very emo? I think Alfred was too emo at one point. And I don't want to talk about it to ruin it for Bob, but Bob, just when you're sitting through those, that movie could have been 2 hours and been perfect. 2 hours. It dragged.
I will say, hold on.
It dragged.
I will say I like the different turns on things they did. Like I like the terrorist Riddler.
That's 100%.
It may not have been awesome. The Riddler we grew up with, but it was.
Oh no! I told wife that because she wants to watch it, and I was like, I know how she's not really into the violence aspect of it, so I was like, watching this terrorist Riddler. Like I told her about like some of the stuff in the movie, and I was like, because he is a lot less on the campy, riddle me this, more like, Hannibal Lecter, had his liver with a fight.
That's why I liked it.
I liked it.
He was a very smart villain.
Oh, he belonged in Arkham perfectly. Where he ended up in the right spot.
Actually,
how did you guys feel about the
Joker
appearance?
I'll say this. The deleted scene with Batman and Joker, I like it. I actually like that they deleted it because having Joker in that last scene
with Riddler,
was
where he said like riddle me this about
that
friends. That was
beautiful.
priceless.
Oh,
Yeah, that was what that so clinched the movie for me to say, like, when people said it was a bad movie, I said
No.
that makes up for so much. Like, Kliq, yes, like I like that. Like,
No.
you didn't have to make him a main part of anything, just to have him say, like, that whole riddle me this.
I'm
because
doing
now,
so
I mean,
hard.
it
I'm trying
sets it
so
up
hard.
perfectly
I'm
for.
trying so
I mean,
hard
you
not
can
to
do
spoil this.
so much. I mean, there's so many things you could do out of that.
Oh yeah, and I'm mad because
But-
I got spoiled because I didn't know about the whole Joker scene and the deleted scene until social media started like vomiting it all over, and I was like, shit. I'm like, I know, and it's like I tried to avoid it because I knew I wasn't gonna watch it till it was on streaming, and I was like, son of a bitch. And of course,
I will
then
say-
you have to watch it. So
I'll say besides besides Alfred, they did a bang up job casting.
oh,
Because-
Zoe Kravitz was
oh my
fantastic.
god, I love her.
Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Yeah,
You could not tell he had that accent. It was gone. He looked. I was like, why is he not in a recast of Goodfellas? Because he could pull off the mob. Like he had that whole like New York mobster voice done so right. Like, hey boss, you want me to go get him? Carmine Falcone.
Carmine Falcone was a killer cast.
Oh, Carmine was.
Turo,
And Nick Turturro.
Nick Turturro, yeah.
And
Killer.
the fact that you had not just that, but you had the other little twist to that of they really for any Bat fan, they had Salvador. They brought in, like, for any Bat fan, and I say this 110%, you fall into that, like, you need to mention the classic non-Batman villains that are non-superpowered villains, like Salvador Maroni, Carmine Falcone. Like, those are like quintessential characters in the Gotham universe of Batman that you have to mention because they're very key to the development of other stories and links to some of the major villains and crime families in Gotham. And I think that they did that. I think that like, and that's just me as a quintessential Batman fan needs to hear that. And I was like, wow. And speaking of Batman, I have one thing that's not about this movie that's very off topic. If you guys have not known this, that Kevin Conroy is writing for DC Pride, coming out I think next month. And I did not know this, and it didn't bother me, but around social media it blew up that nobody knew that he was gay. Everybody was like, he's gay. And I was like, so what? I'm like, I met him. He's awesome. Like, he's freaking Batman. Like, why would everybody care that like his coming out in social media saying that he's writing for the DC Pride is like attack him for being gay? I thought it was just dumb. And I when I heard that, I was like, for all those haters, hate. The guy's quintessentially the voice. Exactly. He's the voice of Batman, and Mark Hamill is the voice of the Joker. Suck it.
No. Rather not.
Oh, Ghosty, what's your feelings on Batman?
So, all right. So, Bob, you didn't see it either, right?
Yeah, Bob hasn't seen it yet.
All right. So I haven't either. So I'm listening to all this as just a fan, and just by hearing it, I think I'm probably this weekend going to wind up watching it on HBO Max because
have to.
Got to do it.
It was. I may be rewatching it, and I
Watch
just
it
watched
twice.
it Monday.
Ghosty, watch it twice. Sit down, watch it
I'm going
once,
to work tomorrow and
Yeah.
watch it.
and then watch it again. Like at least a few hours later, let it marinate that you watched it,
Right.
and then go back and watch it again. And there are things you will catch.
I was gonna say because
I-
I've done that with other films, like specifically because it's one of those things where like I know me, I'm so scatterbrained where like I'll sit there and be like, oh shit, this is really good, and then later on I'll catch it again. And even to this day, there's some movies where like I'll see it and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even remember that. Or so I get it. I definitely really want to watch Sure.
And if you like Jeffrey Wright, folks, for those of you that love Westworld and have loved other movies that he's been in and TV
great.
shows, Jeffrey Wright killed it as Commissioner Gordon. If y'all, for everybody that was hating on people that are like, oh, there's a black Commissioner Gordon, suck it. He killed it.
See, and
hands down.
That I've never understood either. Like, it doesn't matter as long as the actor is good. That's all that matters. Like, I think the biggest thing is like, right, and that's the fictional characters. But like, I think the wildest thing is like, yes, there are some characters, I guess, like you could stay true to, like, if it's a male character, you stay to a male character, like whatever. I mean, that to me that doesn't even matter. But like, I could see that being a thing. But like, whether they're black or white or who gives a shit, you know what I mean? Like, if the character is good.
I mean, Dre and I have gotten into this before. I mean, on his previous channel, and
round 2.
And it's funny though, because this is the third time you've had a black woman play Catwoman.
Yep, and we talked about Eartha Kitt.
And for Eartha Kitt to do it at the time she did it was insane in that age. I mean, and she pulled it off. I mean, she was amazing.
Still my favorite.
Halle Berry, everybody has.
You don't count that one. That's an Elseworlds thing.
Technically,
that was
she
crap.
That was something different.
Yes, it was Elseworlds. It's an alternate world that we don't really care about.
And it's funny how nobody has an issue with that, but people had an issue with him playing Gordon.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of hate about it. Like I was reading it online, and like several news articles were like, Jeffrey Wright's received like hate mail, and like hate tweets. But I mean, that's typical. I mean, like, if you're prototypically not like Gary Oldman, who was probably, I would say, the best Commissioner Gordon, hands down. I mean, I loved him in the Nolanverse as Commissioner Gordon. But then, Jeffrey Wright played the Gordon I wanted. He played the Gordon the way Oldman should have played it. Like, not to be so timid, where he did not give a shit. Like, he went against Gotham PD. And that's what you needed that's the Gordon that everybody wanted. The guy that played Gordon in Gotham was good Gordon. He was younger, and I hated the show. I hate the show, but I can respect characters that do the justice to the actual comic book character. Hands down. I hate it.
I thought it was a little frou-frou, but I didn't really hate it. I enjoyed the origins of certain characters.
Bob, comments?
Speaking of staying true to the characters, I love the argument for Wolverine. Hugh Jackman was too tall. It's a fucking, again, it's a drawing. Due to the drawing, drew him taller, but he didn't. Height shouldn't really matter. Wolverine was short. Like,
that's half of the reason why he was the Wolverine is he was short. Wolverines are small, vicious.
Yeah. But I mean, quite honestly, there's not that many short action stars that can take on.
There's quite a few short action stars.
Well, Tom Cruise is Wolverine.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the thing: you can't wait. You can obviously we can shorten people because the guy that plays Gimli is 6'1" and is taller than Legolas, and they were able to make him half his size.
Don't tell the elf.
I'm just saying though.
Best line of that
argue
movie.
about like the height of a character too, just as much as the gender and sexuality of a character.
Right.
Who cares?
I think the other thing too with that is like more of these are comic books. You know what I'm saying? Or like even movie characters. They're not actual like people that have been alive in real life. You know what I'm saying? I can understand if you're like, hey, Napoleon was 4 foot tall and you have a guy who's 7 foot tall playing Napoleon. Sure,
I'm Napoleon.
Yeah.
right.
No,
Like,
let's get
I get
Idris
that.
Elba to play Napoleon.
I was
Why
gonna say if it's
Or
historical,
or
if it's,
or,
if
or
it's a
Shaq
real
to
life, I
play
understand the argument.
in the biopic of Gary Coleman.
I was gonna
Exactly.
say if it's historical and it's real life, I can understand the argument. But like when they did the whole James Bond with Idris Elba, everybody was up in roar because they were gonna make him James Bond, and they were like, "There can't be a black James Bond." I was like, "Why? It's a fictional character. He's from
No, they
that
can't
area."
be female. No, remember they can't have a female James Bond. Agent Carter.
Yeah.
Agent Carter.
Well,
Peggy.
yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
all right.
Okay,
I
wait,
mean, we
so-
went through the whole Aegis as Bond thing, and my only thing was his age. It wasn't the color or his acting, or it was age as opposed to
Right.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I
mean,
mean, but that
I
I
respect
mean,
that.
we
But
went
James
through that
Bond
once
has to go over
before.
at some point.
Yeah, well, yeah, but Bond.
God damn it! Let you just be the old James Bond.
Yeah, but we
I
already
would
did
love it.
that, and it didn't work well. I mean, Moore did it way too long.
Oh no, okay. First off, let's go through the list. Okay,
Wait, boys, I gotta jump out because I just realized I have to do something for boozing tonight. So I apologize. Talk to you guys soon. I love this fucking channel. I really do.
we
So,
love you.
I
You
will
gotta come
jump
back.
in.
So do what you gotta do, and then come back on.
You know what? I actually will try to do that. So I will talk to you guys soon.
All right.
All right, bye. This is what I'm gonna say. When I look at Bond, like older actors taking on the role, Connery he rekindled the role of James Bond in what was it? Oh God, why can't I remember the movie? Nicolas Cage, The Rock.
Con Air. Yeah, The Rock.
No, not Con Air, The Rock.
The
No,
Rock.
I had to think for a
that's
second.
that wasn't Bond. That was
No, I know. But what I'm saying is,
when
though,
he
it's
did
like
that one when he was much older, I hated that one where he came back and did it. That one movie. I mean, no, Bond. His early Bond stuff was phenomenal.
Who was the best Bond? Since we're talking about it.
Ooh.
that's a whole episode in and of itself, because I've watched them all, and you can't rank them, because Connery had the law. Connery, Craig, Brosnan.
No, Larrabee.
No, wait. Let me finish. They had the longest runs and they had the most movies under their belt. Brosnan is the worst. I don't even count him in that. Roger Moore definitely gets factored in, and whoever's going to be the next pick, which I think they said is Taron Egerton, which is that's what they want to go with. A
good Bond.
That's like kind of the talk, to go with a younger Bond to kind of get him, because Craig was great in age-wise, but then he aged out, but Craig also had 5 movies under his belt, and I think he carried the show or the movie extremely long and well. But like I said, Brosnan was terrible. No, Brosnan was good. It was I like Brosnan. Timothy Dalton. Timothy Dalton was terrible.
That was horrible.
The Living Daylights was the only good one. License to Kill was terrible. And the only reason License to Kill was good was because it actually played up to the title of the movie. Like, where it explains how Bond just kind of has that free reign to do what he wants to do. And has that legitimate, like, stamp of approval. But I think Craig, Brosnan, and even more to an extent, and Connery, all their movies had story behind it. There was a story that was behind it being told. Not just a Bond story, but like an adventure. Like you were actually understanding the premise of what was going on. Like, granted, some of the names like Moonwalker, Octopussy, The Spy Who Loved Me, Goldfinger, GoldenEye. I mean, I could go down the list of all the great Bond movies. But when you think about it, the stories what got you. It's like, I can't even think of just the Bond woman that was, and each of those had a Bond woman that like shined. It wasn't until Craig where they got rid of that concept and it became Craig had the chance to shine, which was different, and they kind of brought the Bond woman to be different by the last one. But again, you know, like because Vespa was, I think, you know, great, but I think she wasn't the reason to carry his love for her for 5 movies.
Right.
But that's an opinion. You could talk about that. Like you could tear those movies apart.
I'll say for me, like I have 2 favorites. Obviously, I'm not gonna sit there and say Daniel Craig's top dog for me. I didn't.
No, he's top 3.
I didn't really care for Daniel Craig. I will say that my top 2 would most likely be Sean Connery is probably number 1, and then Pierce Brosnan would be number 2 for me.
What, not even Roger Moore?
Roger Moore's 3.
Wow.
For me, my personal perspective.
Smitty and I have had this discussion many a time. That's why I know me and him could go back and forth for hours on this.
All right.
I know who mine are.
Craig, Larrabee, Connery. Then you get into Dalton. No, not Dalton. Brosnan. Then Moore. Then Dalton.
All right. Now
See,
for
I
folks
get
that
that, but
don't
here's
know,
the thing: when I'm a little bit younger than you guys, honestly, and not saying anything bad, but when I got around the GoldenEye for Nintendo, and Brosnan was the
GoldenEye, hands down is going to be it's the Bond for our generation, for Generation X.
So growing
You
up,
know, it really is.
Growing up, I heard Sean Connery's voice as James Bond all the time, and then I got GoldenEye. So those 2 were the ones that like really stuck out for me.
My thing with the Moore ones, and Dre's heard me say this, is the gimmicky stuff. It's all the gadget stuff, and yes, they were very campy. That's what I liked about, you know, Craig is it brought him back to being real, like a killable or injurable character. I like the extended love interest aspects coming, you know, which is part of the reason I like the Larrabee one. And then Connery is, you know, yeah, I mean, he has that swagger in them that you can't deny.
You can't replicate that shit. Like that. Yeah. That's that swag. That's like, it's drip, folks. For those of y'all, the kids that use the term drip, look at Bond. Look at Bond's drip. That is true. What y'all aspire to now, that dude had it then, and that's what is like. And for those of you that don't know, Larrabee was the original Casino Royale in 1967. So if y'all have not seen the original Casino Royale, like that is based completely on the novel.
Larrabee is on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
No, but I thought it was the guy that was the original Casino Royale.
He only did the one, I think, and it was on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Oh, okay. So I stand corrected.
So Bob, do you have any input on this?
No.
James Bond is one of those things. Let's put it this way: Bond is a fandom that very few people really delved into. It's like Star Trek for a lot of people. It's like Star Wars.
Doctor Who is another one of those.
Doctor Who's another one. Like I'm huge into Doctor Who.
And my girlfriend, you know, Liz is, but I'm not necessarily. I've seen parts of different seasons, but I'm not like I haven't gone through all of them.
He's not a Whovian.
Yeah,
I think I need to try Doctor Who because I know David Tennant was Doctor Who at one point in time, and I hear
David Tennant was the 10th Doctor.
I hear Benedict Cumberbatch was in there too somewhere.
No, he wasn't. He's Sherlock.
Matt Smith.
Well, I love Sherlock.
Matt Smith.
That's who it is.
Matt Smith was the 10th, was the 11th Doctor.
11th, yeah.
And then you have,
I knew that.
Yeah, Smith was the 11th. Capaldi was the 12th and 13th, and technically the last Doctor has been the girl. which nobody really likes, but you know.
Are you doing an orchestra over there, Bob?
If we're going to talk about British secret agents, my favorite British secret agent is Austin Powers.
Powers. I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah, baby.
That's more my speed.
Yeah, baby.
Fat
Get
Bastard.
in my
Mini-Me,
belly.
Dr. Evil. Number 2. Frau. That's my speed. Regular James
hands
Bond.
down, hold on.
Not
Hands
so much.
down, favorite character in Austin Powers.
Fat Bastard.
That bastard. I get asked my babe. Favorite character out of Austin Powers.
Other white meat.
Fat bastard, right? See, she just laughed. She said it. Fat bastard. You can't. I'm dead sexy.
JC, it goes Fat Bastard, Mini-Me,
Thank
Dr.
you. Yep.
Evil, and number 2.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Austin. Austin is number 5 on my list.
But see, I'll tell you something, and I don't hate
And
I
Scott
don't
is
hate
number
anybody.
6.
But I'm gonna ask the question because
Yeah.
as your brother from another, I'm gonna
Ask
just
away.
have to ask. If for you to not like or for you to love Austin Powers as much as you do, and obviously Smitty and I love Austin Powers because we love James Bond. So when you say Austin Powers is more your speed? My
It's
question.
the humor.
Okay, so do you
Austin
not like
Powers- all right.
the story driven, like the narrative of like a James Bond film? Or do you
Austin
feel like that's
Powers,
too
to
slow?
me, reminds me of like epic movie, date movie, dance flick. You know,
Mel Brooks. You like Mel Brooks, basically.
Those like the sat whatever. It's a
The
satirical
satirical
take on the British secret agent movies. All the James Bond. Much
Yeah,
like
I mean, it's-
Scary
That's
Movie,
cool.
all that were takes
Scary Movie's
on.
hilarious.
I love
So
that.
for me, I mean, I've tried to watch James Bond, and I've watched a couple different ones. I have to give 2 shits. I'm sorry.
No,
I
don't
get it.
apologize.
I would
I've
rather
always-
watch Austin Powers than James Bond.
See,
I
I
would
don't.
too.
No. I could sit and watch any of the Craig ones. I could watch any of the Brosnan ones. I can
He's
even
a
go back and
fun
watch
ball.
any of the Connery. You know, again, it's the story for me. Like I'm all about, and I guess the older I've gotten, even when I was younger, because that's when I got into it. You know, very few people like Smitty is one of the few friends I have. I can literally count on one hand. There's not many friends of mine that are diehard that I could talk hours about the Bond legacy and literally go into every movie with like a fine-tooth comb and start picking out what I didn't love. But I can understand that if you feel like the that's not your speed. You know, because like for me, a lot of people are like, well, you know, what about rom-coms? I mean, I love rom-comedies, but I'm not. They're not my speed. Like I'll watch them.
That's my speed.
That's my
But see,
speed, too.
it's.
That's how you get laid. You watch a rom-com. Watch Notebook? Sure. Yeah, come on over.
Oh no, see, and I've watched The Notebook, and I love The Notebook. But then again, when I watch a certain movie, like I know what I'm going in expecting. You know, like I know if I'm going in for James Bond, I'm going in because I want that character-driven story that's part of some sort of quadrology, quintology, you know,
Scientology.
Scientology, I'm waiting for it to do what it's going to do to finish out a story arc. And that's like going in to see like Lord of the Rings. My best friend, Eric, I've been friends with him 18 plus years. This year, 18 years I've been friends with my friend, Eric. He cannot sit for 15 minutes and watch any of the Lord of the Rings movies. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I own all the extended cuts. I've watched the extended cuts of every single one of these movies. How could you not do it? And he's just like, I don't love it. But he plays D&D. That's what I don't get.
That's
Like,
messed up. I'm sorry.
I know.
That's messed up.
See, I told him the same thing. I'm like, how do you play D&D? But then you cannot watch Lord of the Rings. That's like such a bastardization because it's like Lord of the Rings is like the natural birthplace
It is.
of Dungeons and Dragons. Like, you know, like to me, like
It
but
is.
then again, I get that he's not into fantasy. Like that's not his cup of tea. So for somebody to say, "Oh, you don't like Lord of the Rings," that's like saying you don't like Godzilla. If you don't like kaiju movies, you're not gonna like Godzilla or King Kong. You know, it's a genre-based film. There's people that don't like Star Wars. Granted, I think that you were born under yeah, exactly. Like, where did your parents like leave you in a bomb shelter?
Well, it would depend on when they got introduced to it. I mean, all of us had the original trilogy, so
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about
we had
not
that
not the newbies.
before the
No, not the
prequels
kids that are born
and
during
the
the
last
during
three.
the. No,
you
I'm
know.
not talking about the kids born in the late '90s, early 2000s that their first exposure was like Attack of the Clones, you know, Phantom Menace. I'm not talking that. I'm talking kids that like of our generation that grew up with the originals that don't like Star Wars, and I'm just like, how do you not like Star Wars? And they're like, well, I don't like space operas. I can't argue that. If you don't like Kurosawa,
it's a classic fairy tale. What do you mean you don't like space operas? It's a classic fairy tale.
No, I love. Now, you know, I love space operas. I'm talking about the idiots that don't
I know.
like this
I'm
stuff.
talking about. I'm
Yeah,
saying
the
that
fools,
to whoever says
and,
it's a space opera.
And let me take that back. I'm not going to call people fools. If you don't like what you like, that's okay. I mean,
right.
there's
How about this?
You
idiot.
You idiots. You know, I'm still trying to understand why people don't like those mass franchises because there's people that don't like Seven. I mean, like classic movie. You know,
that one is. I mean, well, and Dre, you know this about me. I love. My favorite thing is a smart villain. Give me Seven. Give me, Silence of the Lambs.
12 Monkeys.
You know,
no, 12 Monkeys is not a smart villain.
Contagion.
I love 12 Monkeys. Shut your face.
No, Patrick Stewart was in it, but it was not a good movie.
I liked it.
You know, so
World War Z.
but
World War Z. That's another one.
Contagion.
Yeah. Contagion was great. I don't know people that slept on the Outbreak. Classic movie that people sleep on. They're like, oh, I don't like it. Are you
Philadelphia?
Stupid?
That I loved.
Philadelphia.
Not many people talk about Philadelphia.
Hell no.
But
hang on. Dre grew up in the Bronx and New York. Smitty's from New York.
Kids.
I love Kids.
Kids
was a great fucking movie.
Kids is a great movie, but A Bronx Tale too. That's a classic that nobody talks about. Like Chaz Palminteri. Chaz Palminteri. That was.
Chaz is like the notch below, like De Niro and Pesci when it comes to like Italian mafia movies.
Yeah, Ray Liotta. Don't sleep on Ray Liotta. Casino.
No, Ray would be Ray straddles that top tier and where Chaz is at.
Like you got Brando, you got De Niro, and Pacino. They're like at the same level.
All the O's. O's are at the top.
Yeah, all the O's. Exactly.
Pacino,
De Niro, Brando,
Sorvino.
Then you get the
Liotta. Then you get Ray Liotta. Yeah. You know, you get all the ones that end in a vowel that's not O.
You gotta put Chaz above Liotta.
Oh no, Chaz Palminteri comes before.
All day long, twice on Sunday.
Exactly. You know, because you got to look at those classic.
And you mentioned movies. One that you have to put up there is Savino too.
I said Paul Sorvino.
Yeah,
Paul Sorvino,
that's what I'm saying. You said it. I mean, he's
Paul Sorvino.
I said all the O's are at the top. All the O's are at the top.
And for those of you that don't really understand the mobster thing, before Denzel made it cool, because Training Day was like the beginning
American
of like
Gangster
that.
Was another one.
And American Gangster. Like American Gangster was fucking awesome, but people slept on like a true gangster movie. It wasn't till like Serpico and like, you know, I'm not gonna. I mean, I can throw Scarface in there because Scarface is classic. But I mean, those like when you look at the rise of the gangster movie, you have to talk about the classics and like
Goodfellas.
really appreciate Goodfellas, Bronx Tale,
Casino.
Casino is fucking. Are you talking to me? You talking to me?
My Cousin Vinny.
My
Hey.
cousin Vinny.
We'll throw that one in there.
People hate on that, but it is.
That movie is. I mean, all right, that is
and
one of the best comedy movies.
Speaking of the O's,
ever.
Ralph Macchio up at the top.
Wait, where are we getting Macchio from? Because I mean, we're talking Karate
My
Kid.
Cousin
Yes,
Vinny.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
But he wasn't nothing in that movie.
It made Marissa Tomei's career because she was just on a different world.
Yeah.
Let's just be real. She was nobody till she did My Cousin Vinny, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, I love her." Yeah, and then now she's Aunt May. I mean, just to look at the trajectory of her career. Like you went from a different.
She's
world.
America's Aunt May.
She went. Yeah, she was on Different World. Yeah.
Yeah, I go there. Because I grew up in the time period of watching those shows.
Yeah.
You know, so like when you made the transition.
I like the Different World.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things that you got to talk about, like that transition. And speaking of transitions, we've been talking about television a lot. I want to kind of bring up Moon Knight, and not like I don't want to go past the first episode for reasons. For reasons.
That's me.
Exactly. For reasons. And I'm going to point to the person that's sitting above me. Oscar Isaac, they just posted an article, and it was actually a BBC article and an interview he did talking about his accent as Stephen Grant. So as his alternate character. So if you have not watched Moon Knight episode 1, you know that we see Stephen, the salesman within the museum gallery. He works in the gift shop. Oscar Isaac walks around. If he's Poe Dameron, folks. He's Poe Dameron, and he, he's an American actor. Because I had to look this up before I did my research. I do my due diligence. He's an American actor, and he kills it on the British slang. And a lot of the BBC guys were making cracks about it because they're like, "You're the first like Yankee to really kill knowing a lot of British slang." Like he goes in there and like if you watch Moon Knight, and obviously in the recent episodes, you understand what I mean by a lot of the British like slang that we would use. Like if we say like swag and drip here in the US, people know what we're talking about. But when you look at British like common vernacular, and he's like dropping some words I've never heard of that I had to like Google. I was like, what the fuck is that word? Like, oh, okay, that's what it means. And he's like, yeah, he had to like talk to his British friends. He lived in London. He experienced the culture. Now, mind you, he's also a Middle Eastern actor because he's of Middle Eastern descent. So I think he does a great job as, playing.
He was actually born in Guatemala.
But he's Middle Eastern, from what I've heard.
So he was born in Guatemala, moved here in 1990. His father was Middle Eastern. So he got that. He's got that. He's got a mixture of.
It's just like I said. That first episode, for anybody that has not watched Moon Knight, it's one thing I'm sad about because it's already like their Disney has not talked about because they just released this 2 days ago. They talked about this. Disney has not released their upcoming like renewals for shows. Like they've already talked about Loki, they've already talked about What If, and like several other shows that are getting like greenlit for season 2s and 3s and 4s and 8s and 10s, but they're not talking about, which I'm glad they are. But like Moon Knight and Hawkeye are not on that list. Now Hawkeye, I understand a little bit more, even though I was like, with the way that show ended, you had the opportunity to like really let Kate Bishop kind of grow in her own little isolated universe, separate from Renner, and really let her grow as a young Avenger, and then form the Young Avengers around her show, which would be an amazing idea. So Disney, if you ever watch any of our shows, please consider that, because that'd be dope. And I'll help write it because I've read all the Kate Bishop stuff even the recent crap comic book that she's been in. So I'm just saying. No, her recent run, the newest run that started like a few months ago, is terrible. The art's in it terrible. The story.
You can say it's terrible, but it's also getting little girls into, because I got it from my niece, and she's actually getting into comic books because of that.
And my daughter reads Black Widow. Lana reads Black Widow.
Too.
She loves it. So it's like I'm glad. I know she reads that. The new Miss Marvel Beyond Limit. She's reading that too, like the current issues as I get them. So I mean, am I unhappy that Moon Knight's not getting greenlit for another season yet? Yes and no. Reason being, Blade, the Black Knight, and Eternals 2, which is what I feel like they're tying into that dark universe style. And I think Thor, Thunder, and Love is going to bring in a lot of the characters that we want to see in that darker universe. And that's why we have yet to see it. Plus, Mahershala Ali, I think he's going to kill it as Blade. And I know that they've been like, there's a whole mess of talk about how we're going to see Kit Harington show up in Blade, and that we're going to see rumors, and for those that don't read the comics and did not see the Hasbro drop today, which killed a lot of people's wallets because of the price hike. They dropped all the new Marvel Legends, which are all mostly Spider-Man Marvel Legends. So yay for me, who's a Spider-Man fan. They just dropped the King in Black and the Venom with Wings.
Yeah, I saw that.
They are fucking awesome. They look amazing, and they are comic book accurate, which makes me now have to get the Thor, Thunder, and Love figures, because I have to get the sword that's on Christian Bale's character, because that is the evolution of what we're going to be seeing somewhere down the line as the next big bad after Kang, after Galactus, is going to be the King in Black.
I'm waiting for that.
Because the King, that means we're going to get the symbiote universe. That means we have to have Krakoa. That means we have to have a whole mess of good things coming down the pipe. So as a comic book fan, as a toy fan, it is going to be amazing to see these things pop up, because I think people are like, oh no, we got Spider-Man and we had the multiverse. Yeah. Realize the multiverse is the toe dipped in the water to see what was going to happen. And now you have Into the Spider-Verse Part 1 and Part 2.
Hey, Kenneth.
What's up, Kenneth?
Hey, Kenneth.
So did anybody not see that trailer?
Oh, Thunder and Love. I got to see the Chinese trailer a couple days ago before it aired.
You haven't seen that trailer?
No.
It's out everywhere.
I know it is. I've been busy. Sorry.
No, it's
okay.
okay.
Have to watch that trailer.
Target, actually, if you didn't see, Target actually dropped a few things by mistake. Obviously, I feel bad. I don't want to kill the trailer for Bob. But
Well,
if I say
Bob's going to go watch the trailer right now.
All right, so Bob will watch the trailer. So, if you see the Jane Foster moment, which is what I think is probably one of those like quintessential Marvel moments, like Captain America getting the hammer, when you actually slow-mo the screen, folks, Mjolnir is put back together. They released a toy of this. I was like, oh my God, they need to make the Marvel Legend adaptation of the hammer so I could get the adult version of it, not the kid version. But they have the kid version right now, and it looks awesome. Like, I was like, it lights up. It's the music soundtrack. Like I see Bob rocking out to, folks, because it's Sweet Child of Mine. And they have one, from what I've heard already, there's an accurate comic book scene, which is probably going to be one of the best things ever, which for me, who reads the current Thor run, which is fantastic. I think you need to be reading it. Donny Cates kills it for Thor. But you guys got to check that out. Like, I feel bad for people that don't.
I got some
read the
space
comics
on my shelf now.
Which one's that one?
The Wally West.
That's the new McFarlane one, right?
No, Yeah, the new McFarlane one. Yeah.
Have you seen the releases for McFarlane this
I'm
week?
looking at it now. Like
Did you
Cyborg's
see the
on there?
Blackest Night? No, did you see the
Uh-huh.
Blackest Night stuff?
I haven't seen
That
it.
he has
Hold on.
Blackest Night Batman, Blackest Night Superman, Blackest Night Firestorm, and then they're doing Rebirth. They did obviously Wally West Flash, which looks dope.
killer.
They've talked about I think they're gonna do
Deceased
Wonder
looks
Woman.
Badass.
I actually, if I'm gonna get Deceased, I'm gonna buy the DC Direct ones because those are better quality.
I'll
But
probably
he did
own
a
all box
kick-ass
office.
job.
Hey, Christina.
Hey, Christina.
What up,
They did
Christina?
a great job. He did a great job on the Red Hood one for Deceased.
Oh yeah.
With the helmets like cracked. I mean, hands down an amazing figure. Hands down an amazing set of
All right, I'm back. I watched the trailer. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm fucking excited. Let's go.
July 8th, man. July 8th when tickets
mean-
go on sale.
I mean, like Thor just reminds me of like the Asgardian Star-Lord now.
It's fantastic. I agree with you. Yeah, that figure's fucking dope.
That and I'm glad they're bringing in great music as
That's
well.
Taika
Thor's
Waititi.
always had great music though.
No. Taika Waititi. That's his thing.
Most of the music, most of the movies has been crap.
Oh yeah, if you look at Dark World,
Great
ever since
music
Waititi took
started.
over.
In my opinion, great music started with Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's true.
Oh, hands
And
down,
went
yeah.
forward.
Gunn. Yeah, James Gunn
Well,
killed it.
hold on. Iron Man 1 had great music. Iron Man 2 had
That had one great song.
Yes, thank you.
One
Thank
great
you.
song.
Yeah.
The whole soundtrack.
Hey, no, you're talking like if you,
like
I
I'm
can
talking
listen to the
Pillar of
Guardians
Coast.
Volume 1.
Guardians of the Galaxy started it.
Yeah. And I mean you could listen. I own the CD. I actually have on my iPhone both Volume 1 and Volume 2 soundtracks on my phone, and they're freaking amazing. I mean,
and nobody has the whole Iron Man soundtrack on their phone.
You have I Am Iron. You have the Megadeth. What was it? I Am Iron Man. That's it. Like, nobody
Black
gives
Sabbath,
a shit.
man.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
My bad. See, nobody even. That's how little. That's how little it doesn't bother me. Like,
But
I'm like,
I mean, but that's the one that I love about Marvel is they're not just giving you a great story, but they're giving you the soundtrack. I mean, literally, you can sit there and listen to the Guardian soundtrack, and you know in your head exactly what part of the movie it's from. Like you can drive down the road, you're thinking about the movie in your head as you're listening to it.
true.
Yeah.
It's very few movies do that.
Very.
That's
few.
kind of like a James Gunn, Taika Waititi thing. Like I'm liking that the two of them as directors have kind of solidified themselves because the Black Panther did that too to an extent. Like with the and Shang-Chi to an extent. Like I have the whole Shang-Chi album and it's dope as hell. And I think people slept on it because like there's parts of that movie that when you listen to the soundtrack, you could tell like that workout scene in the beginning. That hip hop song, like doom da da dee da dee da 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 doom da dee dee. I'm like that beat is fire. Like every time I hear it in the car, I'm just like I could drop the windows down. I'm like I get the old school hip hop like drop like. I'm sorry, the old you can't take sometimes the hood out the OG. Like a little bit of the hood comes back and it's just like Now I like that. Like I'm waiting.
So.
You can
Apart
thank
from Marvel-
Stigwood for that.
Apart from Marvel, what movie for you had the best soundtrack? Apart from anything Marvel.
Oh Jesus, that's impossible.
I can name two incredible ones.
That are non big franchises.
Yeah, no non-franchise.
Yeah. Saturday Night Fever. Big Chill.
Forrest Gump.
Well, all right. Yeah,
Great
good
one.
call. Good call.
I gotta think.
I'll say mine.
Go ahead, do yours.
My favorite soundtrack, probably of all time, was 10 Things I Hate About You.
That's the wife's one of her favorite movies.
That one has some solid songs in it. Yes, I'll give you that. Yep.
Shit, this is tough.
It is tough.
But that's why I said you can thank Guardians on Stigwood, who was the one he was the initiator of that. You have to have X number of
Good songs.
songs
right.
associated to basically do the soundtrack and movie combo.
All right, so I'm gonna say, because I love musicals, and I'm gonna stay with Disney on this one. I'm gonna go with The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's one of the few soundtracks I know that, and then I'm gonna also go with, as staying within the Disney franchise, John Williams and actually the Phantom Menace soundtrack, because Duel of the Fates and the Imperial March.
Yeah, but the Imperial March goes all the way back to the original.
Yeah,
Star
I know.
Wars.
I know. I'm just saying.
I mean,
hang on.
And once again, that's big franchise. And Williams
really big franchise.
John Williams.
Yeah.
Williams is
no,
franchise.
so not. Okay. All right, so
Williams is a franchise in and of himself.
All right, wait. All right, okay. So I have to stay out of the franchises.
Big franchise. Yeah.
Little Shop of Horrors.
All right.
Suddenly Seymour.
I mean, all right. If we're talking musicals now.
Well, no, I'm saying that's the soundtrack.
Well, yeah.
I can't think of
soundtrack. Grease.
Rocky Horror Picture.
Because Saturday Night Fever is a musical.
Grease is great. Rocky Horror, I'll agree.
Rent.
Fuck yeah,
Rent. I mean, definitely. West Side Story. Sweeney Todd. I mean, I could go down the list. Freaking In the Heights.
I love
In the Heights in Hamilton. The Greatest Showman.
Well,
I mean,
Hamilton.
Les Mis.
I mean, Hamilton by far only, and I'll give it its due because it's. I listen to it and I forget sometimes that it's actually a freaking musical and not just a badass, like storyline CD. Just a regular hip hop, 2-disc pack from the 90s.
I'm saying, that's why I love In the Heights. Like, when you listen to In the Heights, it's like, for anybody that's Spanish listening to In the Heights, it's like, like growing up in New York, and being Hispanic and living by the projects, it's like that was like the anthem. Like I died when I saw that movie, when I watched the movie, and then I downloaded the soundtrack, and then I got the Blu-ray. I was like, Lin-Manuel, he kills it.
I know it was based in New York and everything, but that movie also has a real big impact down in Southern California, like down in San Jose area and that type of stuff. That reminded me a lot of down there too.
Well, yeah, because it's the hood. It's just a different kind of Spanish. That's all it is.
It is.
You go from Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans to Mexicans. It's not that much. We all speak the same language, just say different things. The culture is still there,
Depending on the
all right. That's like saying U.S. English is the same as British English is the same as Australian English.
No, there's colloquialisms. There's certain vernacular that you guys use,
which is the same thing with the Spanish.
Wait, are you telling a Puerto Rican who speaks more than one language? I speak three.
I'm telling you that.
You can tell me that.
I'm telling you,
and
I know that from other Puerto Ricans and Spanish and Mexicans that I know and have talked with. And
we're not, but culturally, guess what? To the world, I know I'm not. Look, I'm not the same I am not viewed the same way. And no offense, I don't view myself the same way as I view a Mexican or a Cuban or a Dominican or any other Spanish subtype. Because guess what? Being Puerto Rican, one, I'm a United States citizen. That's one. Two, I was born here. So I'm more than just the U.S. citizen. I was born here. My culture comes from the fact that I'm a mix of everything in the Afro-Caribbean culture. So trust me, when I say I speak three languages, that's because I come from a culture that was robbed of its culture. Like that's why when I talk to like Alex, Playful Gorilla, shout out to Playful Gorilla. I just saw you went live. You know, he and I've talked about that. Like when you come from a culture that like gets robbed, Mexicans were robbed of their culture by the Spaniards because they like the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, you know, the Aztecos. Man, those people, that culture is gorgeous. The artwork is beautiful. You know, and when you see that it gets robbed, you know, it's like you're saddened. But when we have these voices, like movies that come out, like Stand and Deliver with Edward James Olmos, hands down, probably one of my favorite movies that he's ever been in. Granted, he's a Dama, which is also a good thing because I'm a Battlestar Galactica fan. And you can see Smitty, he gets off his high horse there. He's like, yeah, he's a Dama. He's good. He's cool. He is. You know.
Yeah. He carried a Dama off very well.
He had to. Because I needed him to.
Yeah. Because if he didn't, he would have heard about it, and you wouldn't have had as many seasons as Battlestar as you had in the remake. You know, after Lauren Green.
Let me ask you a question. What did you think of Caprica?
I like Caprica.
I did too. I'm sad that it didn't get more than one season, but I didn't like the guy that played the young Adama, the Spanish dude that played him. I didn't like him.
It was just, yeah, I can see that. I mean,
I don't think he was great. Just me personally. Like Caprica is a good story for those of you that don't know. Caprica is what they consider the prequel to Battlestar Galactica, the newer show for those people. It's basically telling like how the Cylons eventually grew to have their own sentience and started creating the human-like Cylons. So, you know, and Sci-Fi only let go one season. So sad.
Robert, I'm
Bob, you okay up there?
You.
I'm just waiting for the conversation to get more exciting again.
Oh, what?
Robert,
what?
I'm different. This is your sci-fi history here.
Pretty much.
Star Wars.
That's my sci-fi.
Sci-fi history.
No. Wait. You've never seen Buck Rogers?
Yeah.
In the 21st century?
Wait.
Our grandpa
You've never
used to
seen
watch
Buck,
that.
Or was it 25th century?
25th century.
I'm
Buck Rogers. Wait.
My grandfather used to watch it. But...
All right. So wait. There's Buck Rogers. There's Buckaroo Banzai. Yes, I'm gonna go Buckaroo Banzai because I grew up on that. That's Peter Weller. Then you got Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy original, not the crappy remake, the original Dune.
Okay.
Like those were classics. Fuck Star Wars.
Oh, wait,
we're talking those Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica. Then you have Star Trek. You have Logan's Run. You have Planet of the Apes.
Original.
The original 4.
I didn't get it. I didn't come in until Planet of the Apes.
Omega Man. Wait, let's keep going.
Omega Man.
Omega Man. Man. See,
Legend.
Smitty and I are showing our age. We're showing our age here, but I'm gonna tell y'all, for y'all that never saw Logan's Run, think you all know Westworld.
I love Westworld.
Pay attention.
Westworld. I love the movie Westworld, and I love the TV series.
Exactly, because Logan's Run, Westworld, the original movie, became Westworld, the TV show. Like a lot of people sleep on those things and don't realize the evolution of their original stuff. Like sci-fi does have a very deep rooted history that does not get talked about.
Maybe it should.
I mean, I've looked at honestly, when I look to create content for us, I always look around YouTube and look and see what like not just the hot things are, because I hate that, because I don't want to talk about what's going on in the Ukraine for politics. I don't want to talk about what's going on with pop culture, with a lot of it we deal with and we talk about it anyway. I get sick of watching the wrestling news, so I took a break from listening to my wrestling podcast for a week or two, and I just wanted to see what was out there that we don't really see. Sci-fi has been one of those. Like there's a couple of channels that delve into like a little bit of the history of like Doctor Who, and they really talk more about like the Eccleston, they talk about the 8th and 9th Doctors up. They don't really talk about the older Doctors. And that makes sense, because if you're not a Doctor Who fan or a Red Dwarf fan, or Primeval fan, yeah, I can go there with Red Dwarf. I mean, a lot of people talk about Stargate Atlantis and
a lot of people
Stargate,
don't even know Red Dwarf nowadays.
and I mean, and because they don't think that because BBC shows, which are becoming the norm. Like, hey, folks, for those of you that watch AMC, more than half those shows are remakes of Swedish, Finnish shows that are currently airing that are way better. And then you have shows that like Luther, which is amazing. Shout out to Idris Elba. You have, Sherlock. Shout out to Benedict Cumberbatch, because that show was fantastic. And I can go down the list of all those shows.
I really wish they would have done. I've binge watched all of Sherlock, and I wish they would have done more.
No, he had to stop because he did Broadway. He did the UK. He did a play in the UK, a play in the US, and then he jumped into Lord of the Rings, Disney, and the Grinch, because we gotta throw the Grinch in there for Illumination. Yeah, because I know.
I like that.
Bob,
Smitty.
Smitty, I'm gonna tell you, I don't want to say it, but when your voice of the Grinch, you're not just Jim Carrey anymore. That's the way it goes.
He was the worst Grinch. I'll fucking say.
I think the story was good though. I think it appealed more to kids.
No.
If it's not that original 70s cartoon, I don't give it.
I know you don't give a shit. I'm just saying
Jim Carrey did it justice. Cumbersnatch just got a paycheck.
I actually like this story better.
Which one?
The newer one.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot too.
Well, we have kids.
I'm glad I don't have kids. You want to know why?
It's kid friendly. It's kid friendly.
The best version of everything.
Do you think my kids watch all the bad? No, hell no. I put them to watch the good stuff, and then I show them the new stuff.
Don't show them the new stuff.
Yes, why? Why not? You have
because
to be
if you
keep
showing the new shit, then they keep coming out with another fucking.
Okay, wait.
Remake
I'm sorry. That means you didn't watch. You watched old Thundercats, but you didn't watch new Thundercats, which was probably equally as better.
No,
if not better than the original.
No,
I didn't.
Wow.
I'm a Turtles fan, but I have not watched any of the new trash.
And you'd be very sad because it's all trash. Then none of the new stuff is good. John Cena was the voice of the villain in the show, and I was like, "That's I'm done."
What show?
Of Ninja Turtles. He was the voice of one of the major villains in the show.
What villain was he the voice of?
I'll tell you right now.
Me?
Let me see.
Michelangelo, you can't see me.
TMNT.
You can't see me.
Baron Draxum.
Yeah, that wasn't really a major villain, in my opinion.
Yes, he's the main antagonist of the 2018 series Rise of the Teenage
That doesn't mean
Ninja
shit
Turtles.
to me. If it wasn't Phil Hart, if it wasn't Uncle Phil voicing Shredder, I don't care about it.
Orokusaki. See, but then again, that's old school Turtles.
Old school's the better school.
I'm not gonna disagree, but there are some things that were done better now.
Definitely not the Grinch.
I'm not.
I sat through that movie. I sat through it, and it was trash.
I'm gonna ask you, JC. I'm gonna ask you this because I've seen this, and I, as a dad, will not show this movie to my children. Maybe Lana, I would show it to, but I would not show it to Rory yet. The original Annie.
No.
You wouldn't, right?
No.
Because we all know there's as an adult watching it now, there's no way I'd let my kid watch the movie.
No.
For the amount of shit in that movie. Now you would let her watch it now, obviously, because she's older.
Mm-hmm.
But at 10 years old, 9 years old, 8 years old,
they're so like everything impacts them at that age. So it's like,
and there's so much wrong with that. Like I remember I sat and watched that movie with a 4-year-old in the room and a 6-year-old in the same room, And my face just sunk when I was like, oh my God, Carol Burnett's an alcoholic and she's doing drugs in the bathtub. And we're letting these children just sit here and watch this. Oh my God, Tim Curry is like beating a woman and like talks down to her. We're letting this happen. Oh my God, the racist undertones. Like, why am I letting a kid watch this movie?
Right.
That, like, do I want to let my daughter watch
reality?
Okay, yeah. For people that don't have kids, you can't let them watch that. I want my children to have that little bit of the Disney illusion.
I get what you're saying. Yes, I mean, you have to find the age that it's appropriate to have those kind of conversations and the exposure to that. I mean, yeah. All right, I see what you're saying.
Would I want to have the old school 6, Annie?
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Liz. 110%. It's way too much of a movie.
That's way too. That's
much.
Way too young to be seeing that kind of stuff. But I know who you're talking, and they let her watch way too much stuff that they shouldn't anyway.
I mean,
I had the same argument with my best friend. Paul.
Wait. Okay, go ahead, Bob.
My parents screwed up with me because when I was growing up, I was watching Smoking the Bandit, Trading Places, Dirty Dancing,
Jamie Lee Curtis movies,
Eddie Murphy's Raw,
Castle of Sharks. So Meg and Jaws and.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
I'm
not
sorry.
Gonna say you're wrong, Bob. My parents did the same with me. I saw Basic Instinct at 11 years old. I should not have been in that theater at 11 years old. As an adult, Andre, now, my parents were wrong for putting me in that movie. May my mom rest in peace. May my dad can kick rocks, but my mom, may she rest in peace. I should not have been in that theater to watch that movie. I was. Am I different for watching it as an adult now? No. Like, I mean, because would I show Lana or Rory? Hell no. But as an adult, would I have gone to see that movie? Hell yes, I would go see it. Sharon Stone, she's hot as hell. But 11-year-old me should not have seen that movie.
Well,
there's movies like you say, there's movies that we watched as kids that we have more of a mindfulness of now that we're not going to let our kids watch.
Like, would I let my daughters watch the new Annie with Jamie Foxx? Yes.
Yeah.
Because that one is a lot tamer. No alcohol, no drug abuse, no beating of women. There's no racist undertones. I could have my kid watch that one. And then if they were like, hey, Dad, can I watch the newer one? Sure. Go ahead. Granted, there's so many movies that I know my parents did not. I saw.
Yeah, I was way overexposed.
Same with me. I think we all were. I think we're a product of that generation. Like, when my wife talks to me about that stuff, like, there's certain movies she's never seen, and I'm like, I saw that, and she was like, well, how old were you? And then I was like, oh shit. Like, I start thinking, I'm like, well, damn, maybe I was too young to go see that movie.
I mean, horror movies. I started out at like 6 or 7, and watching like Freddy,
Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, the original It.
My wife had never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show until I showed her.
Oh dear God!
When I showed her, she was like, "Of course, my parents will let me watch this." I was like, "Shit! I had horrible parents."
Me too.
I know. Yeah, my parents would have been considered terrible.
It's a hey, come on downstairs. We're watching a movie. What are we watching? Smoking the Bandit.
I know, it's like we're gonna watch this show or this movie, like, okay, like my mother-in-law had on Easter was like asking questions because I had talked about like, oh yeah, Lana and I are gonna go see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and Lana's the one that really I want to go see it for my own reasons, but Lana's like, I want to go see it too. So my mother was like, is that appropriate? So I thought about it. I was like, well, it's a fictitious movie about people getting destroying the idea of the multiverse and trying to save people.
Totally appropriate.
I said she's 12 years old. She knows the difference of what's real and what's fake. That's what my whole defense was. And she shut up. Now, mind you, if I said I'm taking her to go see a Bronx Tale remake, she probably would have been like, no. Or I'm going to take her to go see American Gangster. No. You know,
We're going to watch Showgirls. No.
Exactly. Let me go. No, it's like, no. But see, you know, when I can explain that, you know. Oh, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That Disney movie was just. It's good to watch. I think if you're a little bit older, like I get why a lot of parents would have issue with it now.
There's a couple of Disney that are like very
like
on the
it's
edge.
like Mulan is about like Mulan. I can get why people like watching Mulan. I think Ming Na Wen. I love her to death. She's fantastic. Everything she touches is gold. So I mean, like I could have a little girl watch Mulan. Do I think I could have like a boy watch Tarzan? Yes. You know, but there is that final scene in Tarzan of the dude getting hung in the vines where you just see boots. You see his gun drop and you see boots. Obviously, you know he was hung. I don't know if I want a little boy seeing that. It's a cartoon. Yes,
it's a question, Mr. Roberts. You, my friend, said that you don't care for newer versions of an old movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
How can you go on and say that when you have come on this show and liked every single live action movie Disney has put out?
What the fuck did I say? I like any of the live action movies.
Commented on several of the live action movies that they put out.
All right. Aladdin
Commenting does not mean he likes it.
Aladdin I haven't seen, so I'm not going to judge it. They completely ruined Pete's Dragon.
They did.
They ruined The Lion King.
Yes, they did. Actually, the Jungle Book wasn't bad. Live action Jungle Book was pretty good.
I haven't seen that. Honestly, I don't.
That's your opinion.
I mean, I watched Pete's Dragon only because I thought it would be good, and I was wrong.
It's sad. It's not like the Disney. It's not like the animated mix movie when you were growing up as a kid, folks. This movie makes you start questioning like the social justice. And y'all know me. I get on that box. Box.
I mean, as far as the live action Disney movies, I have not fully sat down and watched one.
Cinderella?
No.
Wait, you mean which version?
I refuse to watch certain ones because I just know I'm gonna like break my TV, and I just can't do it.
You didn't watch Beauty and the Beast? I thought we talked about.
I did. That was a good one. I did. No. I own the soundtrack to that. It was good.
No,
but then again, I like Hermione.
I want you to watch Beauty and the Beast and tell me you don't like it.
Okay, I'll watch it and I'll tell you I don't like it. It's no problem doing that.
Yeah, he'll watch it and then be like, I hate it. I hate it. Watch it. And he'll love it. He'll secretly love it. But then,
I mean, thankfully they haven't gotten to my favorite animated movie yet. It's Robin Hood. They do that and it blows.
There are so many versions of Robin Hood, Robin Hood movies that they don't need to redo the animated. You need to leave that alone. And
I think there was one good version of Robin Hood.
Robin Hood wasn't that great with Terry.
There was one good version of Robin Hood, aside from the one Dre just mentioned. Because freaking Costner and Morgan Freeman were great.
And Alan Rickman, R.I.P.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie. I don't know if it's a TV movie or what.
Wait, was it the Robin Hood with what's his face, Russell Crowe?
No,
that wasn't terrible.
No, this is a younger.
It wasn't. Oh my god, either.
Movie.
No.
It's a movie called Robin of Locksley with Devon Sawa as kind of a Robin Hood.
Oh, that was a TV show. That was wasn't that a BBC show? Robin of Locksley? Because I liked it. That was good.
It's a little short movie. I mean, it's a movie with Devon Sawa and a couple other. I don't remember who else was in it. It was really
there's been
good.
several. Let's not even talk about it. There's been several. There was actually the BBC show that was like Hood, I think it was called, which is actually really good. Which they had some really good combat sequences in there. I think that the guy that was, I forgot who the actors were in it, but that's something I wish that they would come back to. For people that like Vikings and stuff like that, like that show, definitely Hood would sits in that realm.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's one of those, and it's old too. It's like I wish Netflix would get it back, because I remember that's where I first saw it was Netflix. And if you're talking about Liz, if you're talking about the reboot and the remake of Pete's Dragon, watching the reboot, which I don't want to call it a reboot, it was just a reimagining of it. Yeah. It's just depressing. It really is depressing. It's like it did not make me feel like there was no music to it, like the original.
No Gilligan's, there was no Mesopotami. Come on now.
It literally was a story about like
it was a movie.
Abandonment. It was abandonment. It was Disney getting on their social justice, like, and they do that from time to time. Zootopia was like that, and I love Zootopia, but Zootopia is a social justice movie, and for me, who is all about that, where I want to see representation, and I love having characters. Turning Red's like that too. For people that have not seen Turning Red, which is a fantastic movie for kids to watch, it's a social justice movie about acceptance. And that's a good thing, because people need to see that, especially for little girls. And Beauty and the Beast was good.
I don't think it was a reboot. I think it was. I don't know how you would describe it.
It was basically a whole different movie, and they slapped a fan favorite title on it, hoping people will watch it.
Beauty and the Beast?
What?
No,
that's what she's talking about. She's talking about Beauty and the Beast. That's what I said. I don't think it was a reboot. I think it was a live action remake. That's what it was.
Yeah, when I saw, because Beauty and the Beast, there was the TV show that was on CBS with Linda Hamilton.
Oh, but that was ages ago.
And then there was the remake of it with Kristen Kreuk, which wasn't bad. I think it was kind of a cool way to explain the Beast, but because he was like a soldier that was experimented on and like had like PTSD. But yeah. So wait, why were you rolling your eyes before, Smitty? I'm curious.
On what?
What I said something. I said something that made you like roll your eyes about like Tarzan.
Oh, the hanging part. I mean, and I rolled my eyes because we all grew up on like grim fairy tales. Mm-hmm. Well, grim fairy tales are dark. I mean, and ominous, and they're meant to scare and drive lessons to kids that are, but so I mean, if you for that, I'm like, hey, I mean, none of the stories that Disney, especially the early stuff, I mean, they're all out of those fairy tales. I mean, yeah, they take some of that out, but you can't take all of it out. So, I mean,
you're right. To an extent, you're correct, and I'm not gonna take that away from you. But at the on the same breath,
how do I want to say this? I mean, part of that is that whole, I mean, look, I'm a deep Gen Xer, so I'm an early Gen Xer, so
you and I are not that far apart within Gen X, so that's why I understand where you're coming from.
I got the
I'm like, look, we grew up. I didn't wear a bike helmet. The only people that ever wore bike helmets were the guys in the Olympics doing the
BMX crazy
the
stuff,
aerodome. Yeah. No, that was because we didn't have BMX when I was a kid. BMX was, we all went out and built our own ramps.
Yeah.
And went up, I had a railroad track at the end of my street. We would take the bikes up and go as fast as we could down the hill.
Hell
We
yeah.
had
Look,
a cat walk off a highway all the way down into the street. So
I mean, let's be real. Like, I agree with what Liz said, you know, that we were tougher, built those movies. And it was a time that we were built to be tougher. But now, and I say this, and y'all heard me about the snowflakes. I mean, I my wife would be the first one to
Both
say I
ways,
criticize.
Liz. Don't forget that. Both
You know,
ways.
I criticize Lana for being a snowflake sometimes because I'm just like, oh my God, like, you know, it's like this generation doesn't understand what it is to not lose. You know, like, oh my God, here's a participation. Fuck a trophy. I didn't do anything. You didn't, just because you sat on the bench doesn't mean you get a trophy. You know,
Exactly.
I played sports. I wrestled. I know what it's like to win a game. You know, it's like I also know what it's like to lose. You learn something from it. And
Yeah. It's
and
like
I think that
it's like being a Raiders fan. You learn to lose.
or being a Mets fan.
That too.
Yeah, because I mean they ain't making.
Or living here in Atlanta. You're used to losing.
What are you talking about, Charlotte? I mean, look, hello, like we ain't got even. They ain't got no baseball team here. My baseball team is the Yankees, and you know, that's and that's just, you know. But think about
the
it.
best
Like,
part of my team is now playing for the freaking Dodgers.
But see, here's the thing, though. I think we all agree that, you know, the time that we grew up in to the time we have now is very different, and I think that, you know, I don't know if we became softer, but I feel like times shifted, and with that shift became this hypersensitivity. You know, I'm all about exposing my kids to different cultures, to different, you know, like Rory has watched this thing on Blue's Clues that they have on their YouTube channel, which I didn't even know existed, and it caught my attention. I sat and watched it with her. It was a YouTube episode where they do a song about pride.
mm-hmm.
And it's they're talking about they sing a song about the Pride Parade. So I tell my wife about it. I'm like, hey babe, this is awesome. Like, I'm glad that they talk about this on Blue's Clues. So I said, let's not tell your mother about this. And everybody, it's like, you know, because I was like, why are you having your kid exposed to this? You know, because you start seeing people get on their high horses. You shouldn't expose them to sexuality. It's not. It's Blue's Clues. It's a song. And they're just talking about families being happy. That's a simple message that I think I can get behind 125,000% as a dad, you know. But there are people that would get on their social justice things and, oh, you shouldn't do that because it's selling. No, having girls.
Don't you
that
tell
are
me how to
12
be
years
happy
old,
in my own family.
exactly. You know, like here's where it gets even funnier. Tell a 12-year-old not to dress sexualized. I have 2 little girls. JC has a little girl. I'm gonna tell you something. When I say little, I say little. No. She's little to you. Always gonna be little girl. And after getting to meet her, she's a sweetheart. Love her to death. And I know she's not always a sweetheart. Listen. She's not always. But hey, Lana's the same way. I love her to death. It's my girl though. It's my daughter. You know, no one's gonna talk bad about her. But do I want them dressing the way they dress? Hell no. You don't need to be worried about that. But that's the mindset that society puts into it.
When
you know?
the hell did the 90s come back? Because like,
not even when did we wait, let's not jump past the 80s. We went from the 80s to the 90s without even like a hiccup.
I know
it was
that's
like
what I'm saying.
It was
like,
80s fashion had make a comeback like in 2018, 2019, and then in like 2019 pandemic era, suddenly the 90s comes back with like a fucking like, hey, it's the 90s.
Tops and torn up jeans. I was like,
the Zubaz. Don't forget the Zubaz pants for us.
She brought out some torn up jeans. I was like, my tears were on purpose or on accident. Yours are on purpose. There's something wrong with that.
Have you seen the clothes that they have for us guys? It looks like Miami Vice threw up in Target.
Right.
Like,
I'm skinny jeans.
I mean, well, okay, skinny jeans are like they've been around forever, and that's kind of like
Yeah,
part of the
yeah.
skater
My mom used to
culture.
wear them.
Well,
I don't remember growing up
Cavaricci's.
wearing skinny jeans.
All right, so
I'm
then
sorry.
I'm gonna hit Smitty with this one because he would know it. Cavaricci's.
I know you're
That was the
talking
original
about.
skinny jean. You know Cavaricci jeans? They were
Yeah.
like the jean before Levi's. Those were skinny jeans before skinny jeans.
I never
And
wore them though.
Jankos.
No, Junkos, no. Junkos are like the exact opposite of skinny jeans.
Oh, yeah.
That's like I could fit two people in my pants, like trip wear. You know, yeah. Let's hit people with the early 2000 ones on that one for Junko
I
and
just
trip.
bought them. I mean, I bought my jeans a size too big and about 2 sizes too long, or about a size too long. That way,
Liz, I'm
way
43.
they would that way
I'm a grown
they
man.
would be baggy. I mean, I was in New York. I wore Tim's jeans and a
Oh
shirt
yeah, I wore Tim's.
to school every day.
Who didn't wear cross colors, Hilfiger? You know,
Oh yeah.
Cross colors was like the brand. Starter. If you didn't have your starter hat backwards,
And
and you didn't have your starter jacket,
Yeah.
and I mean, you had to have
It wasn't even a jacket; it was a pullover.
No, I had the jacket. I had a pullover, the jacket, and the bubble jacket. That was like the culture.
Yeah, but that was East Coast culture.
No, it wasn't. It was West Coast
That was
culture.
West
too.
Coast culture.
Bro, we had it on West Coast easy.
Yeah, I would say like East and West Coast. If you saw coming up when hip hop was coming up, NWA and like Wu-Tang wore the same clothes. The videos just had palm trees on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And they smoked weed in both of them. The projects looked the same. Compton and
West Coast had palm
Bed-Stuy.
trees. East Coast had pigeons.
Facts. Then you had Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn on the East Coast. You
With
had
pigeons.
Compton on the West Coast. You know,
Pigeons and palm trees.
It's just
I dressed trendy because that's what I had when I was
I
coming
had
up.
to, or else I get my
Yeah,
ass kicked in high school.
Exactly. We would have gotten our asses kicked. It was like you had to fit in. Like I remember the stores you had to shop at were like you had to shop at Hilfiger,
Nautica.
Nautica. You had to have Nautica.
Basically, there's a 3-tier system in New Rochelle. First tier, Tommy Hilfiger,
shit.
Nautica.
Yep, that means you had
Second
money.
tier you can get away with would be like that was like right around the time when Aeropostale came out, right around the time that like
Banana Republic.
Eddie
was
Bauer
big.
came out, the Gap, Banana Republic.
Yeah. So
Structure.
Gap was that second tier, the lowest of the second tier.
Then third tier that kind of looked like the second tier was Eddie Bauer, stuff like that. You know,
LL Bean,
and then you had the 1A, which was like Sean John and Sean John, Anichi, Fila, stuff like that.
Yeah, like that was the bottom rung. And if you didn't dress in certain tiers, if you dressed in certain tiers, it showed where you lived, especially with New Rochelle. Like I went to Iona Prep.
Yeah.
So New Rochelle High School was down the road, and they were
I went to the high school.
And
that's why I had to wear. That's why
you wore the wrong shit.
Literally, you mix and match. Your T-shirt under your Tommy Hilfiger to be like, Hanes. But
see, that's how you know where we're from, folks.
But,
we can tell you how you dressed would determine where you live from.
Your shoes had. I mean, I stopped being a sneakerhead after high school. I didn't care in college, but like in high school, you had to have something nice.
You had to have Jordans.
School, you had to come in there.
Yeah, your J's.
All these kids Air are talking about now. Air Force One, something.
You needed to have that, and then if you didn't have those, you had to have the Huaraches, because Huaraches were the dope ass Huaraches. I had those. You had to have the Jordan crisscross. You had to have the Air Maxes. All those.
I was always Air Max guy.
Airwalks in California.
See? No, wait. Airwalks were on that tier 1.
See. On the East Coast, the people wearing the Airwalks were the same ones who smelled like dumpster weed and playing hacky sack on the bridge.
smelled
before
like
Hot
that
Topic
in
was cool.
California, too.
Yeah.
See, that was before Hot Topic was cool, and you had Spencer's.
Yeah.
So like that was.
You also had Pacific Sun,
Oh God, PacSun,
which was kind of
God.
like the more like surf shop.
Yeah, before they
John.
became Hood.
Yeah.
Before they became Hood. See, that explains a lot.
Yes,
I'm
it does,
telling Liz, I can tell you, me and Bob grew up in the same area, so
Yeah.
I know what the dress code was.
See,
Like-
Nerve Show was fun because, I was talking on one of our, I don't know what stream it was, but like growing up, my neighborhood had everything I fucking needed in one strip mall.
Mm-hmm.
It was Joey's Deli. Then you kind of walked into the strip mall. You had Carvel, Twiggy's Dugout, Fratelli's Pizza, and a bagel shop. All I fucking needed.
Let me tell
I
you,
had to
there
go
was
anywhere
one thing I never wore until I got into like high school and then out of high school. I had never wore fucking jeans like denim all throughout my
What
childhood.
the fuck?
It was always
How
Dickies.
the hell did
Honestly,
you 16,
It was always
12
Dickies,
years of your
khakis,
life?
or what the hell is that? Corduroys.
Yeah,
Oh, dear God.
I
That explains
won't
a lot,
lie.
JC.
I won't lie. I wore sweatpants and like I had like two pairs of jeans, a pair of blue and a pair of black when I was growing up. So once I got into middle school, high school. Once I got into high school, it was like if you went out in sweatpants, you looked stupid. So you had to have like
Well,
your
yeah, Liz. I
jeans.
mean, I mean, even going from Nerve Show to the city was like, I don't want to fucking go there.
You only went to the
Half-hour
city for
train ride.
concerts. You only went to the city for concerts or sports
No.
games. Sports games.
Field trips.
Oh no,
I went
and
to
the
the city for
trips.
field trips.
Well, that's what
I went to the Met, the Guggenheim, Natural History Museum.
Museum.
Like
MoMA.
sixth grade, you went to the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island.
Yeah,
That's not
I
dope.
did
We
them.
had the Golden Gate Bridge.
I would
and
get lucky,
Alcatraz.
and like my father would
See, Alcatraz would be cool.
buy
Cool.
buy freaking Rangers tickets, Knicks tickets like once a year. Sometimes only time growing up, I went to the city until like high school and college.
Then when I got
and then I was like, "Fuck Nurse Shell, see ya."
exactly once you
Here's
once
a
you
little
got out,
secret
once you
about
grew
me.
up, it was different.
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little reason why I am the way I am. Okay, the reason I'm an Oakland Raider fan is because my grandfather hated that everybody in our family was San Francisco fans, so he decided that he was gonna go to the cheapest tickets in the area, which were the Oakland Raiders. So we went to, actually at that time it was LA. So we drove down to LA to watch, and he got season tickets, so we'd go every week. So that is why I'm an Oakland Raider fan, is because it was sentimental with my grandfather. And
See, that's
it was the cheapest tickets.
I mean, they still suck.
Well, no, see, my family has the eternal rivalry. If you're a New Yorker and you have to, there's two rivalries. You had either basketball or
Jets,
Mets, or sorry, three.
Jets,
You had three.
Jets,
You had three
Giants,
rivalries.
Knicks, Mets.
And you had the Yankees and the Mets. And in my family, growing up, my grandfather, may he rest in peace, my mom's father, was awesome. He was a diehard Yankees fan. Now, my godfather, who I love, he is a diehard Mets fan, and he married into the family. So he marries into a family as a Mets fan, but he's got diehard Yankee fans all over him. His son-in-law, for my cousin's husband, is a Mets fan. So they get along real well. His second daughter gets married to a New York Giants surgeon. He's like the surgeon for the New York Giants. So that keeps my uncle is awesome with that. Third one, not that big of a sports fan. So he wins. But when you're a Mets fan and you have no other like outlets, and you're the lone Mets fan against the Yankees, it's tough. Subway Series were a bitch in the family.
And to add to Liz's list, there's also Iona Manhattan.
Fordham. I own a Fordham.
No, Iona
High
Manhattan.
school. For the high school, it was Iona Fordham.
Well, no, I'm talking about college. Iona and Manhattan.
All
They're
right.
at the.
We're
We're on
approaching.
2 hours.
I was gonna say we're approaching a little bit more than what I thought we were gonna do, but
You want?
I'm happy that we're doing it because it was like I said, I missed this.
We can close it out on pickups of the week.
Yeah, what's your guys' pickups of the week?
Smitty, you first, because yours is better than all of ours.
Hell no.
We have
That's
cool.
pretty badass.
we have
There
the
goes these.
Mr. Mento Evil Ghosty collab.
That's awesome.
We have the glow in the dark Mr. Mento tequila bottle.
Shout out to Mento. He's going to be on the show next week on Toy Chats, folks, on Monday.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And probably one of my favorite pieces that Dougie has done for me. We have the crane stroll.
Dope.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wait for it.
That's
dope.
Yeah. All right, Dre.
I wish I could afford stuff.
Sure. All right. This I had pre-ordered this a while ago, and I'm happy I got it in my hands. It is the Multiverse role-playing game for Marvel. It's their playtest book. It is actually in a comic book format. So my friends and I are going to be playing this. All 5 of us got it. So we're going to be playing it. It's actually really, really cool. It's based on a ranking system. So I think it's very different. Like, so it's 3d6. And if you roll 616, which is the earth that you play in, you get like, it's like you ultimate success. I will be doing a review on this actually in the upcoming weeks. So you guys will hear about it. Then I also got this as a gift.
Nice.
That's cool.
It is a Kickstarter game that I found on Amazon, and it was half price for $17. And boom, it's got miniatures in it. And there are several expansions. They did the Spider-Verse expansion. There's a Doctor Strange. There is a Villains expansion. They're extremely hard to come by, and I'm trying to find friends of mine that have gotten the expansions. So like, if they get dupes, they can give you out. But like, they have the X-Men expansion right now on there for $20, and that has like Wolverine, and you can get like the jets and everything. I got this as a gift from my friend for selling for her stuff on Mercari. Shout out to my girl Nicole. I got the Albedo from Overlord, and then I got the main character from Overlord. These are like 2 Nendroids I've been wanting for a long, long time. And she was like, I'm getting rid of them. Happy, like, Merry Christmas. I owed you a Christmas gift. So I was like, yay. Oh. There was also comic books this week, which I'm kind of mad I didn't get the cover I really wanted for a couple of them, but it is what it is. I got the new Gwenverse issue 2. The new Captain America with the Sam cover. Shang-Chi issue 11. I mean, but I have to keep up on it. There's Refrigerator Full of Heads. If you're a horror fan, this is a kick-ass book. It's a pickup of this. It's a sequel to Basket Full of Heads. So if you're into Black Label DC, this is a weird like indie book called Primos. There are 3 cousins that have superpowers, and it takes place within like the Aztec culture. It's based out of California, so it's actually a really cool kind of like book.
Was that the one that was on Free Comic Book Day? There was one of those.
I want to say yes,
because I read something a title similar to that, and it was really good.
This is the Hulk variant cover.
Ooh, I like that one.
They're doing a bunch of comic book variant covers with like Carnage. So I have a few of them, and then I got the new Power Rangers. That's really it. I mean, there's obviously like not to go too much into my personal stuff. We all know that when you ain't got a whole lot, store credit kills. So, but I did find these these are like the last of the things I found.
That's dope.
Nice.
Yeah, Painmaker, Chris Statlander, Chuck,
That's my future wifey.
and Trent is over there.
Trent Beretta.
Yeah, well, no, Trent with a question mark, because that's like his. They're like Trent. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to do a review on some of the AEW figures. I've been wanting to. I saw a lot of the WWE ones. They dropped the Mark Calloway legend, the Edge legend. I showed you guys those in the chat, in the group chat that we have. I mean, right now, like I said, like I canceled like 98% of my pre-orders. I've canceled unless they're out like next year, you know. So I'm waiting to see what's gonna come down the pipe. Comic book wise, there's Marvel is doing a very big crossover with Fortnite called 0 Hour. It's similar to the Marvel to what they did with DC. It's gonna have like it's based on what they're currently doing in the Fortnite video game right now. It's pre-order or pre-sale for June 8th, I think it is. So hit your comic book shops because there are going to be codes in there for your character downloads and item downloads that'll be you can get and they'll keep and hold. So I can't think. I mean, I have a stack of comic books that are sitting here. I did get Spider-Man No Way Home, obviously on Blu-ray because I had to, and I watched Batman. Other than that, like there's really no.
I'm waiting for my 10 of Spider-Man No Way Home.
I'm sad because I did not know that Best Buy did that tin, which looks fantastic. I do know my local comic shop did a pre-order for the Spider-Man Doctor Strange t-shirt that Diamond put out. So they gave it to us at like a discount. So I got like a 20% discount on if I pre-ordered the shirt, and it doesn't come out until like October, but I was like, I get tons of store credit at my comic book store. So shout out to Rebel Base because you guys are fucking amazing.
Robert.
All right. Where do I start? I mean, if y'all saw my post on Instagram, the man right down here sent a
care package.
But it's a pusher package. Is what it is.
I'll be your pusher man.
But
it's an enabler package. Yes.
I put up the pins already. That I got.
That Darby Allin one looks so fire.
Dude, I saw that and I almost died. But I'll start with my buddies over at Zobi came through once again.
Nice.
Adam Cole to go with the Britt Baker. That's
you have to add the baby
already in the bedroom. What?
You have to add the baby.
Well, you gotta have the boyfriend and girlfriend, yeah. Then he sent me a couple of autograph cards. We got Zero Productivity. We got Bird Brains. We got King Donga, not Bob. And then
he's gonna be on the show soon too.
Then we got Surge.
Surge is coming on Zero, folks.
Card. And yeah, he didn't tell me until I think right before he sent the box off, and he showed me. He had
that looks
through this for
dope.
me.
When I saw that, I was like, "Wow!"
They have to have like
that's
shrine
another
to
Surge.
And
he
said, you're gonna have to have a shrine up there to Hobgoblin.
Well, I don't know how I'm gonna display them. I mean, obviously, another pickup is sitting on the couch where I've got my nice binder full of
those are dope.
But then also he sent this badass piece, which has a home on my desk right next to my Evil Ghosty Mini, and then Then, spoiler for next week, I did order another bunch of shit from Evil. So I got the Lemonhead mini coming in, and then I got some more pens. And
yeah, look at him. See, James Bond villain.
Excellent.
he is. But I mean,
He's like,
obviously,
That's why I sprinkle little things like that.
I know.
I give him the Darby Allin pin from Urge. So, he now starts looking at more Urge Yourself stuff. And,
Yes, I will. I mean,
I
obviously,
send him, I get him a custom, Search and Destroy DIY.
I will say this though. I mean, Bob and I were talking about this in the group chat, and I'm gonna be very honest, folks. One of the things that I've been doing for a long time, and Bob just said he was doing it too, is we're kind of purging our collections a little bit. We're not
a lot of it.
And I mean, I'm doing it a lot of it too, but I think there's reasons why. For me, it's twofold. Obviously, number one, it's it's a way just to get some extra cash, but two, it's to get space. It clears out a lot of clutter, and wrestling has been like a fixed point in my collection, and it's going to stay that way. So, and to borrow a line from Smitty from that group chat where he's like, just keep collecting what you like, don't go crazy. Like if somebody were to tell you, what are some rules of collecting? Don't go crazy. I know that a lot of new collectors jump headfirst into shit. Don't.
We were one of those.
Take advice. We did it with Funko. We all did it with Funko. I've dialed back. I mean, manga and comic books there's enough time with manga where you get like 3-4 months between. So,
I just seen that, Liz. I'm sorry.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is not only am I collecting these cards now, but I colored this one the other day, and then we did the bird brain one, which is actual brain now. I put the little veins and blood vessels in it. But I mean, that's something that. And y'all know me. I tried to resist this, but I'm glad that I'm in this. And I figure if I'm gonna do it, we're gonna do it. So, that's one reason why I'm purging my collection. And I've actually got someone coming next weekend to pick up a hefty part of my pops, which I told these guys, and they were like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, as much as pops are great, and I mean, I was having to keep a bunch of them. I'm not getting rid of everything. I'm not stupid, but I want to dive more into custom figures. I want to dive into a couple more autographs and stuff like that, and I don't have the room to display everything properly. So get rid of the stuff that's taking up valuable space and build it up the way I want it. So that's what we're going to do.
I have a question for the chat because I know that Bob's been doing it, and I was going to take a stab at it. Does anybody want to see me card break these?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I've been tempted to do a live to do it. I just have to figure out the time because obviously I don't have.
How many you got?
2 boxes.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know how many packs come in the boxes. They guarantee you one autograph.
Hey, you said that's what he wanted for his birthday coming up.
Wait. Which card are you talking?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, see, that's my son's into that. That's
I love Yu-Gi-Oh. I'd rather play Yu-Gi-Oh than Pokemon, honestly.
So, I mean, if you'd like to see that, I would like to. I have a binder of WWE stuff. I just card broke by myself here at the house. So I was wondering, like, I see Bob do it, and it's a lot of fun. So,
well, yeah,
I kind of want to do it with the NFL because I like the NFL cards.
See, so. I'm not gonna get into like these things were you know, a pain in the ass to have my LCS get. And you know, when you find them, it's like they're non-existent. Like I ran into a fan actually the other day. Quick little story I'll tell. I was run a Target run. The wife knows this. I was on a Target run and I see this guy in the parking lot with a whole bunch of like AEW figs in his hands. So I get out my car and we just start. I'm like, hey, are you returning those or like what's the deal? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you're all characters I already had. So he's like, I know you from somewhere. So I was like, YouTube? And he's like, you're the Geek Dad. And I was like, holy crap. Shout out to that. I never got his name, but it was like, shout out to that fan that I ran into the street. I thought it was really cool. And we start talking about cards because he's like huge into card collecting. And I'm not. So I was like, what are these things? Like he was like, did you see the new Fortnite ones that they're releasing? Yes. You know, and like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? And I was like, I have no idea. So
I love you.
You know,
I'm gonna go lay
but
down.
I didn't have any idea of like what it is. So I learned a little. I got a little bit of an education. You know, so if you guys want to see that, I'll try to make some time.
I think that'd be a great idea. Like, I like watching card unboxings on whatnot. So yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh no, I friend deleted that bullshit at.
Yeah,
damn money.
Yeah, but
I spent a lot of money on whatnot.
No,
Tom
no,
gave you, like,
it's fun to watch, but it's hard for me to not get involved in like. My dreaded choice lately has been mystery pulls for comic books.
Yes.
Like this past weekend, I spent money on Disney, spent money on the new TV. I'm sitting there watching, the comic book people always watch. I'm watching, I'm letting it go. I start bidding $20 here, $20 there. And then you wind up spending all that money, and it's like, I got comic books to show for it, but I'm not going to keep them. So I deleted the Devil's Playground.
I didn't.
I'm done with whatnot.
I mean, everybody has their drugs of choice. I mean, some people like.
See,
I
now,
used to be
that's
real
a
bad.
drug I can handle. That's a good drug. That's a good drug.
Are there good drugs?
See, a baby fat.
I'll revert back to this.
Well, see.
Well, I mean, think of my wife. She loves books.
But I openly admit that because and Liz knows this because I still have 3 boxes of pops she hasn't even seen that are hers here. But, speaking of Verge Yourself, I got her the whole Evil Queen set that Urge put out because she's an Evil Queen and Maleficent fan. Yeah. So I got her a Maleficent, the whole Evil Queen set, and a Ursula.
Oh, that sounds like something my wife would like.
He's in the maker room.
But I mean, with her both of her nephews. I mean, Tom is a huge Deadpool fan. So, he got, Christmas one year, he had a dozen Deadpool pops I had been collecting all year long.
Deadpool.
For him. Her other nephew, Joe, is a big Dragon Ball Z fan. He got a dozen Dragon Ball pops. And a lot of those were the various exclusives that, now Joe knows more about what's coming out for Dragon Ball than I do. But, I mean, yes, I openly admit, especially with her nephews, I'm totally an enabler and purposely was trying to pull them down this path.
Well, I mean, and I've said it on our lives on Friday. I don't mind this new obsession. I don't mind the community that comes along with it. getting to talk
There's
to
a lot of good creative
people on Monday nights and getting to hang out and booze and buddies until I fall asleep. That I don't, that's the fun part, So you kind of close one door, leave it unlocked, a little ajar, but you'd walk through another one, and it's a natural progression that I resisted, only because I knew financially it would ruin me. And it will, but again, it's worth it because I mean, I got jump started with this one I just put up here, but I went out and I had Alex do a 3-card set for me that I'm waiting on.
I can't wait to see that set.
I can't either
when you get it.
Well, the kicker, once I get what I won from Booze and Buddies sent to my door, I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna slide some stuff inside of it and ship it up to Alex and let him play with it. And I can't wait to see that get done. That's gonna be fun. JC's just like, what the fuck's going on here?
No.
I mean, if you want
I'm gonna, because I've been bringing down my collection of Funkos. Like I've whittled down from like, I probably sold 200 Funkos in the last since the beginning of the year. I cannot wait for
mine.
But I'm trying. What I want to do is like, it's not a designer toy. I like the designer toys. I understand the appeal to them, but I would rather have like that. I'd rather have like artwork around my.
Well, again, I mean,
and that's what we're saying. Collect. I mean, I'm sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, you don't have to have, one of the artists in the community do a figure. You can have them do.
I was going to. I was looking for the right one.
Alex, since you like comic book art, Alex is the guy. Urge is pretty good too. I mean, we can recommend anybody.
I want like a movie thing. Like I want something because I like the movies. I grew up on, that was my life, was movies and TV. So if I could get stuff like that all over my wall, that'd be awesome.
All right. I don't know if you guys saw, I think Serge did a post. He did some Star Wars DIYs for somebody. Yeah, exactly. I was like,
I cannot wait to see. I can't wait to talk to Serge about what I'm going to send him, so he can talk about my part of the trade. Give me ideas now.
But I mean, all right. I'm going to show you. I mean, you guys saw these. These are two that I had Magic Monster do.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Right? But I mean, this is the kind of stuff. So behind them, there's all of these stickers, a label print. The back of the envelope had this guy on it. And then packed to protect the DIYs, she does this. I'm like, it's those kind of things that's, but like, all right, if you wanted to do a movie or a character, like a character from the movie, I mean, Alex could easily pull that off. Serge could do it for you. I mean, Priscilla could do it. I mean, there are a ton of guys that,
I plan on sticking in the community to do that type of stuff. I'm just saying, instead of collecting pops, like you guys are saying, you're getting rid of the stuff you don't collect anymore and collecting what you like. That's what I want. I want to start collecting the stuff I like, and I like posters. I don't get me wrong. I like my Funkos every now and then. Like I like the Disney Funkos, but I don't need them, and I can get like a Disney art piece or something. I don't know. I like that more.
No, and that's what we're. I mean, how do I say? I mean,
collect what you love.
Yeah.
Collect what you love.
I mean, that's one of the things that I like about the creatives. The idea of is it opened up even more artists
Yeah.
to me. You know,
And honestly,
she put that up because I got invited to be a speaker at at a conference this morning.
there you
So
go.
I have a conference in May that I'm speaking at, and a conference in June that I'm speaking at now.
Smitty, the next person is going to be voted.
I think that is our cue to end tonight.
Yeah, I think so too. Cause I'm going to bed now.
Well, you got
Yeah.
something else you got to do.
No, not now.
Not tonight.
What's the cue?
Huh?
What was
Time
the
to
cue?
end something.
Oh, the end.
Yeah.
So
But-
thank you guys for coming in and spending the last 2 hours with us. Those that stuck around, like Liz jumped in halfway, but that's awesome. Yeah, if you didn't check out that live, go back and check out the Handmade by Robots. That was
so much fun.
That was
That was a lot
That
of
was
fun.
fun.
I watched
that was a
every bit
great
of that, and I
episode.
loved every bit. So it was.
And
great.
you guys missed out on the extra stuff that we got to see. My wife got to tune into it. It was some very cool behind the scenes stuff that we only got exclusive access to see.
Yeah.
And then they just talked about their drop today that we already knew about. And if you had watched the show, you saw Fezzik dropped, and I was like, that was freaking awesome. So tune in
And
Monday.
if you guys didn't know, these guys aren't like. These are kind of big time people because I've seen their stuff in Walmarts now, and they're all over, and they're in Targets now. It's getting real, guys. So come check out Full Stats on Monday.
No, they're growing leaps and bounds right now.
And they want us to talk to them. So when we're getting input on stuff that they're actually designing, you know, folks, that gives us a little bit of clout. Like I said, I don't really like to toot our horn, but
toot toot.
When toot toot. Like when they're like, hey, Bob, Smitty, Dre, can you three submit some things to us? Like, says we like those ideas. Like, you want to talk AEW and wrestling? We like Dre, hit us up. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We have the battles. We have the Battlestar license. Who should we make out of it?
Oh, Dre and Smitty, you like Battlestar? Give us a list of who you need. Me and Smitty were like, yes. So yeah, definitely tune in Monday, folks. Tune in Monday. We have Mr. Mento coming on. That's gonna be a fun show. And
if you guys haven't seen some of Mr. Mento's stuff, Smitty showed some earlier. I love that.
Yes,
I showed you.
collab.
Yeah, those are the first two pieces I have of Mentos. Over in my folder, I do have a DIY card from him. But his stuff, I mean, he's another guy that has been taking off big time in the last 6 to 9 months. And he's just, I mean, he's going to be taking off big time in the custom toy and art community.
And tomorrow we will have our very first GM battle episode, which is where they draft. And I'm trying to work something out with Mr. Dre over there to be like a raw talk or it's talking smack type thing for their GM battles. So we'll get together and do something, but their very first GM battle starts tomorrow. This will be a weekly episodic or a bi-weekly. No, I said weekly.
You said weekly, but it's bi-weekly.
It'll be bi-weekly for us, but it'll be a weekly for them. So it's going to be a weekly episodic series where every week we put out a new video for the GM battle. So, and we're going to go all the way up to WrestleMania and see who would win out of GM, Mr. King Bob, or GM.
Spoiler alert, it's going to be one of us.
Or GM, Mr. SmackDown, Smitty Rock. So, tune in tomorrow.
And for anybody still in the chat, right now, Fed Up Toys and Playful Gorilla are doing their 420 show, where you have a bunch of custom Ganjiras. Fett's very own character. And some of the Ganjiras that the artists have done are crazy. Mentos is one of them. That blacklight reactive.
All the
Oh
ones
my
I've
god!
seen so far have been awesome. So
My wife just showed me something I need to try.
Flaming Hot? No, I'm good.
Flaming Hot Mountain Dew.
All right, guys.
All right, thank you guys for coming in, and appreciate everybody talking in the chat with us. I know Dre's back there somewhere. There he is.
I'm here. I was just getting the baby some food.
So thank you guys for coming in and chatting it up with us. We had fun. We enjoyed hanging out with all four of us, which is a rare treat for you guys. And come tune in Monday for Toy Chats. Tune in tomorrow for the GM mode. And I will have a recasting sometime this week. So as always,
I'll be live. And I will hopefully be live Friday, opening up my third case of the creative cards. My quest to 200. What?
What time are you doing your live?
Probably 7, as always.
All right.
Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, if you're around, Dre, you're more than welcome to come on with us. Just chill.
Oh yeah,
that's fun. We can do that.
That'd be a great time for that.
As I'm saying, if I got time, I'll try to jump on. We'll discuss it, Bob.
Sounds good.
Thank you guys for watching. As always, peace out.